Hello, 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 everyone. I hope that you have been having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week thus far. I know I have been, it's been quite interesting to say the least, but I have been having a great week. I just have, and I hope that you have too. And so before I get started, no, I do not have my wine tonight. But I am here, and hopefully, you have your wine or a beverage of your choice in your wine glass. And hopefully, it's your favorite wine glass. So, welcome you guys to Wine Down Wednesdays with Jovita. I want to introduce myself to those who may not know me. I am Jovita, and I help boss women go from feeling frustrated, alone, and overwhelmed to giving herself permission to heal and be free so that she can live a harmonious life. My overall mission is to empower women to live confident, authentic lives unapologetically. So we know that we are coming to the close of May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I know that there have been lots and lots and lots of things going on in the area of mental health. And I just want us to keep in mind that we do need to make sure that our mental state of mind is quite all right, is doing the right thing. And if we need help, ask. Go ahead out and ask. Don't be afraid to ask for help. So tonight's topic is we're going to kind of continue the conversation on mental health, but in a different kind of way. But we're going to keep it positive, right? So we're going to talk about COVID-19 and its impact on ourselves and the community. And I like to start with the impact on ourselves. So I think, this past year, especially this time right now, people were really, really, really like isolating themselves, quarantining, getting adjusted to a new normal. Those people with those social butterflies, they just love to be out there and about. They had to adapt to not being able to do that, to be as social as they wanted to be. And they had to try to be social in other ways, like video conferencing. That became a big thing during this pandemic. And it's still a big thing because now people are realizing, if they haven't been using video conferencing before, they now realize that this is something that they could do and continue on, especially to reach out to family members who aren't close, who they couldn't see, and who they just want to spend more time with. They just do it virtually. And I know for me and my family, we've been doing video conferencing for at least a few years now. We would get together almost, it was like almost once a week we would get together. So we weren't missing that family interaction, even though we all stay in different areas of the country. We were still getting our closeness and what we needed in our lives because we were video conferencing with each other all the time. So that is a great thing. So for those of you who were able to embrace that, that is awesome, because that is one of the impacts of COVID-19. We had to learn to do things differently. And that was our communication. And a lot of people probably start communicating more. And to piggyback off of the communication, people who you haven't spoken to in a while, you kind of checked on them, and not just like, and people who you might probably met new friends, but that has been the personal impact to us individually. Everyone has their own walk, but from what I see and what I hear from the conversations that I've had and me and my own personal experiences, trying to navigate the new normal was a bit challenging at first, because that's, like I said, it's an impact of COVID-19, the pandemic. So but you learned, you overcame that, you went through it. You are still here today to say, I made it through. I am going to continue to make it through. It wasn't as bad because you found ways around it. You probably did things you didn't even know you knew how to do. So just keep that in mind, you guys. Just always, always keep all of that in mind when you're thinking about just your day-to-day life and what you've been through in your lifetime. You have overcome a lot of stuff. COVID or not, you have overcome. And so just be proud of yourself. Be thankful for that, because that makes your mental state feel really, really good, and makes you feel good inside. And you just have all that clarity. You have that peace that you want when you can think about it. So whenever you're feeling down and out, think about the good things that has come out of you normalizing things during this pandemic, right? So another thing I wanted to point out, as far as community, I think community awareness has been key. And I think that has been a big impact of COVID-19. We are well aware of the things that are going on in our country, good or bad. We are well aware of those things, because being isolated, being quarantined, being at home most of the time, you are constantly engaging in the news and seeing things that have been happening throughout the world. And most people's eyes have been opened to a lot of things that they thought that wasn't even the case, right? So I think it's a positive thing, because it opened people's eyes to what they didn't think was possible, what they were sheltered from, especially with the killing of our Black men. That's very disheartening to me, very. And I worry all the time, because I do have a Black son, I do have a Black father, and I do have Black family members. I just have all of that. So I worry about that a lot. But at the same token, I am so glad that this has been brought out to the forefront, because now people are more cautious. People are watching and keeping close eye on a lot of stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. It may not be everybody. And I know that, and I'm okay with it. But I do think that that's a part of one of the impacts of COVID, just having more community awareness. We are more aware of what's going on than we were prior to COVID. Now, some of us could have been well aware prior to COVID, but I mean, I don't know, because I'm not in your household, so I can't tell. But all I'm saying is that's another impact of COVID. And so I think another thing we need to mention is that a lot of people did lose jobs. And just think about, when you're losing your job and you have nothing else to do, but you still have to provide for your family. That can be stressful. That can lead you to depression, some type of anxiety, just some type of mental uneasiness. And so, there have been a lot of not even COVID related deaths, but just suicides based, because of this pandemic and the position that people have been placed in. And, God forbid, they had to think that way, because it's not a good way to think. But, I don't know their position. I don't know their situation. I have no idea what anyone is going through in that mindset. If you know of anyone who could be suicidal, please definitely call the suicide hotline and get them some help, or even just try to, just nurture that relationship, let them know that they're loved, they're appreciated, and stuff like that. But it can just wreak havoc on our mental state of mind. And so one of the, that's a big thing, right? So one of the things I think we also have is that, because we have community awareness, community involvement, people are now reaching out more to one another during this, during what we call our new normal, right? But people are reaching out more and making sure they're staying in contact, especially with those who may not, that they may live alone, may not have somebody. People are still reaching out to them and making sure that they're okay. And if you know someone who could be feeling down and out because they are lonely, then reach out to them, because you just never know. I remember, I'll share a story about, the impacts it has on me. Now, I am not the social butterfly. I am not that person. I can be social. Yes, I can. I can have a good time. But I like to retreat to myself. So for me, I didn't have, well, no, for me, I had issues. My issues were that my friends and family and other people that I knew, everything became, oh, we got to get on Zoom. Oh, we got to get on some duo. Oh, we got to get on Facebook Messenger video. Oh, we got to do that. And to me, that was overwhelming for me. And I had to take a step back because that was messed with my mental state of mind. And so you have to recognize, and I know I told you guys last week, you have to recognize what triggers your mental uneasiness. And when you recognize that you need to do what you need to do, whatever it is it takes for you to, like, preserve that and make sure that you are okay. But to me, that was overwhelming. Whereas I have friends who that's all they wanted to do. And I was tired of it. I was just like, I'm done. It was too much for me. So I just wanted to just let you guys know that there are some great impacts that COVID has that has brought about like some change. We have people who started careers, a new line of career. They started own businesses. They've started, nonprofits. They've started just different support groups for whatever the support is needed. They have started business groups. They have started writing their books. They have started, just journeying their lives. They just started a whole lot of things that they would not have been doing prior to COVID, because guess what? They didn't have time. So COVID and the quarantine and all of that gave you time, gave you some time to really sit with yourself and think about what it is you really want. Like I said, people change careers. So keep all of that in mind. The impacts of COVID, there were some bad ones, but there were also some good ones. And a lot of it did impact our mental health. All right. So that is all I have for you guys tonight on Wind Down Wednesdays with your girl Jovita. I wanted to remind you that this is the last Wind Down Wednesdays that will be on my personal Facebook page. Next week, Wind Down Wednesday will be on my YouTube page, my YouTube channel, and my Jovita N. Miller Enterprises page. So tune in there next Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. sharp. All right. Thank you guys. And if you have anything that you would like for me to discuss or look up or just talk about, send them to info@jovitanmiller.com. And I will be glad to research those topics for you and bring it to the forefront and just say, whatever it is I feel it means. And then I'll give you the factual meaning of things too. All right. So thank you guys. See you next week for Wind Down Wednesdays. Love you.